1, 2, 3, 4. The tax man's taken all my dough and left me in my stately home. All I've got's this sunny afternoon, and I can't sail my yacht. He's taken everything I've got. All I've got's this sunny afternoon. Save me, save me, save me from this squeeze. I got a big fat mama trying to break me, 'cause I love to live so pleasantly, live this life of luxury, lazing on a sunny afternoon. In the summertime, in the summertime, in the summertime. Hey, Drew James here from LearnGuitarInLondon.com, where you will find hundreds of guitar lessons taught with patience and understanding. This lesson is Sunny Afternoon by the Kinks, and it's my arrangement of this song. Now, I've been teaching this song for the last maybe 6 or 7 years to private students, and I've seen lots of different versions, some with capos, moving the capos up and down, different keys. This one is the one that still stays true to the original, in the original key. We've got some really interesting little bass note movements, which I'm really excited to teach you. It's got a handful of open chords, so that'll be fun for you to learn. If you want to get the tab to this and follow along with the video, then just take some name and email address to sign up to the student area of my site. It's completely free. I've left a link in the video and a link in the video description. We're going to get started on this great song. Don't forget, if you do like my lessons, please subscribe, leave a like on this video, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to find out when I've released a new lesson. Let's start learning it. This song has 7 chords with lots of variations on the D minor. Those 7 chords are D minor, C, F, please do it as a bar chord, it sounds better in this song, or the mini bar F, D major, or just D, G7, C7, and A7. Now, if you know those chords, fantastic. I've left a little bit of text in the video now, so you can skip along into the video and get started learning the order. But I'm about to teach you those chords and show you the best way to change between them, most effective way. Okay, so let's do that. But if you do know them, then feel free to skip along into the video. So the D minor, first of all, I label the strings Eddie 8 Dynamite Goodbye Eddie. So that's E, A, D, G, B, E. We're starting on thinnest Eddie here at the bottom with our index finger on the 1st fret. Middle finger on 2nd fret on the G string, and ring finger on 3rd fret on the B string. Pressing nice and hard, nice spread on those fingers, and strum the bottom 4 strings. The next chord, a C. A good way of changing from D minor to C is to remember that your fingers still stretch over 3 frets. So as you make that change, you just move your index finger up to the 1st fret on the B string, so just 1 string higher. You move your middle finger up to the D string on the 2nd fret and the ring finger on the 3rd fret on the A string. Strum the bottom 4. So here's D minor. Notice how the shape stays similar to C. Okay. The chord change from there into F is quite simply, you could do the little mini bar F where you press down the bottom 2 strings with the index finger, middle finger on fret 2 on the G, ring finger on fret 3 on the D. Or you can make the full bar F here, which is barring all 6 strings, index on fret 2 on G, ring and pinky on fret 4, on fret 3, sorry, on the A and D string. The D chord, index finger on fret 2 of the G, middle finger on fret 2 of the E, and ring finger on fret 3 of the B, and strum the bottom 4. The G7, like the D minor, put your index finger on the 1st fret on the thinnest string, put middle finger on fret 2 on the A string, and ring finger on fret 3 on the E string. Strum all 6 strings, making sure that you're bridging over the strings, not collapsing those fingers on that particular chord. C7, well, if you remember how to do the C, always just make the C chord first, then just take your little finger, and there is, if you look down your C chord, you'll see that there is a gap of the G string isn't played, but we are going to play it for this chord. We're going to put our little finger on fret 3 on the G string. So here is our C. Here is our C chord, there's our C7. So pretty simple chord if you know your C really well. And A7. Second fret on the D string and with the middle finger, and second fret also on the B string with the ring finger. Okay, there are your chords. Let's get on to that really fun intro that's very easy to play. So for every note that I'm going to tell you, you're going to take your plectrum or your thumb, if that's how you're deciding to play, and just do it twice. Do remember that you can get the tab from this from the Learn Guitar in London student area. I've left a link in the video description. It makes it a bit easier to remember all this. So open D string, pick it twice. Then with your ring finger, please use your ring finger because it gets your fingers assigned to frets. Index finger on fret 1, middle finger on fret 2, ring finger on fret 3. Then third fret on the A string with the ring, then fret next door on the same string. Notice how I'm getting my middle finger ready to play it. Then fret 1 next door on the same string, then open on the A. Open just means not holding down anything. Third fret on the thickest, first fret on the thickest with index, and then open on the thickest. Okay, so let's play that together. You should be able to do that with me nice and quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, very good. Now that bass note idea, that sort of descending da 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 da, that continues over a D minor chord. Now, it would be absolutely fine for you to just play a D minor if you found the next bit too difficult. But it sounds a lot more interesting to do this approach to the chords that I've given you. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to keep D minor held down the whole time throughout this. Okay, so D minor first of all, play the bass note of the D minor, that's the open D, and then go down, up. Now that rhythm is something that you're going to want to get the hang of to be able to play this song effectively. So open D, down, up. So just practice that. If you keep picking the wrong string with your plectrum, then just look down at your right hand, and maybe even tilt the guitar a touch so you can see down. If you're consistently picking the wrong string, don't worry about it for now, just strum the chord, just go down, down, up. Okay, so then with the little finger, quite a challenge, you're going to hold down the third fret on the A string whilst making your C. Now don't be too concerned if you're muting strings a little bit from that because it's an unusual chord. So you go third fret on the A string, then down, up with your D minor. Then let go with that finger, bring the middle finger up to fret 2 on the A string, keeping this index and ring intact from the D minor. Now it doesn't matter, in fact it's encouraged if you mute the D string with your middle finger sort of fleshy pad. In fact that's actually really what we want to do because we don't want the D notes. Then first fret on the A string. We can only really leave this lonely D note here left over from the D minor. It's very difficult to keep a D minor held down there. Now for this chord, you really only want to be muting the D string again with the pad of the index and just getting the 0, 3. Okay, so those two bars are, playing them with me from your D minor, sorry. Then go back to D minor after that, go open A string as your bass note, then third fret on the thickest string. Now lift up your middle finger and bring that over, leaving the rest of your D minor intact. Then go back to D minor, bring your thumb over to do the F bass note on the thickest string, then open on the thickest string, leaving the D minor intact. So let me just do those 2 bars for you again. Now you may find it very challenging to swoop that thumb over. The D minor, predominantly the thumb comes round a bit more for a D minor, so you're really going to have to be on your toes if you're dedicated to learning this part on that section. Sorry. So let's put that all together. This is bar 5, this is when the D minor starts. 3, 4. And let's repeat that. Okay, then we're into the vocals. Well done so far. So now it's a bit more straightforward. We're just going to be taking a D minor and strumming just the top 2 strings of that D minor. And we're going to go bass, down, up, change to C, bass, down, up, F, same thing, bass, down, up, C, bass, down, up, Okay, so that's the bit with the vocal of da, 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 C, E, C, F, F, and C, E, E. Then make an A minor chord of sorts, so that's the 2nd fret on the D and the G string, and just do down strums on the A, D and G, then pinky finger on 3rd fret on thickest string, muting the A string with your pinky. That just means making that dead like that, so you get this sound. 2 strums of that, then thumb over again on the 1st fret on the thickest string to make that F bass note, muting the A. Oops. And then finally open. So da 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 da. I've just realised index is better than thumb, my mistake. Okay, then you repeat back to bar 9. So that gives us a really good excuse just to recap on what we've learnt with the verses. So here we go from D minor, 3, 4, D minor, C, F, F, and then C, da, da, 3rd fret, 1st fret, open back to D minor, repeat it again. To C, bass not drowning, da, 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 da. Then you go back to D minor after you take the repeat. So that's bass, down, up, loud strum, and you're going to stop the strings. Bass, down, up, loud strum. All on a D minor. And then this little walk line, which I've got my student Simon to thank for hearing it. So that's open on A, 2nd on A, 4th on A. So we're going D minor, and that leads us nicely into the chorus. Into the chorus we're going to take a D chord, so we're turning that from that minor feel that we've had throughout the song into a major, happier sound. So with that D chord we're going to keep that same idea going of bass, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. So that's little strum, down, up, little strum. So don't just go, really try to refine that playing a little bit. You can blanket it like that, blanket strum, but it's nice just to refine it. Into G7, making sure that you prioritise bass notes over this index finger because that's the first thing you're going to strum. 2 bars of the G7 with the same idea. Then you've got a C7, that chord change from here. Try to be economical, so just move your middle and ring down, index in place, and then pinky comes to join. So here's your G7, that's your C7. So once again, same idea, 2 bass notes, 2 bars, sorry, 1 bar of F. You could do your F this way if you wanted. Then A7, 1 bar. So let's recap on that chorus for you. So we've got D, 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 G7. I've got a C7, C7 and F, G7. Now, whenever there's not vocal on the second bar of the G7 and the A7, I just embellish the rhythm slightly, because whenever there isn't vocal, it's a nice idea to embellish the guitar a little bit. Embellish just means kind of improvise it. So that's what I do over the G7 and then the F. So those embellishments are just bass, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, but I try to keep to the core bass, down, up with that swing feel while you're learning the song, and then put those things in later. The rest of the song, so we've got D minor for 1 bar, G7, D minor. Once again, as you're making that change, don't move the index finger at all. Keep that in place. So D minor, G7, D minor, G7, F, A7. Okay, so I'll recap on that with just a little bit of vocal so you know where we are. G7. I'm gonna have to go from the top of the chorus. That's the best thing to do here. D, 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 G7. Embellishment. C7, C7 and F. A7. Embellishment. D minor, G7, D minor. Keep index finger on G7. F, F, A7 off to. And then the ending. Quite simply, we're doing exactly what we did in bars 5, 6, 7 and 8, or line 2 in the tab, which you can get from the student area, which is this: D minor, pinky, middle, first fret, open A string, and then that repeats. Summertime, in the summertime. Now that is the whole song. It then just repeats and goes round and round. There are all the components you need. You should be able to play it from beginning to end with all those parts. The ending, I'm just going. Okay, so that's how I finish it. Really hope that's been useful. I think it's quite an embellished, considering the original has electric guitar and acoustic guitar going on in it. This is a sort of hybrid of the two within one acoustic. So hope you enjoy it. Keep on playing.